Elsewhere today, state leaders are warning there will be layoffs if lawmakers can't reach a budget deal, and that will be no small task. There's a $7 billion gap to fill. The House and Senate only passed a partial budget by the end of session Sunday night. And without the income tax hike Governor Pat Quinn requested, many state services could run out of money. CBS 2's Derek Blakely is here with some of the services lawmakers may be forced to consider cutting.
Rob, social agencies across the state are warning of dire consequences if the doomsday budget that's been passed already is allowed to stand. Programs for foster parents, for mental health, and for drug treatment would all suffer deep cuts. Brenda Zavala's substance abuse caused the state to take custody of her first 4 kids. But just 2 weeks ago, she gave birth to a son, Angel, with no drugs in his system because she's under treatment at Haymarket Center.
There's a lot of women out there and a lot of men that really needs this place.
Founded by the legendary priest Ignatius McDermott, Haymarket serves 18,000 addicted clients each year. But under the bare-bones state budget passed by the legislature, Haymarket and other social agencies would lose half their funding, and clients like James Ivey would be turned away.
Before coming here, I wasn't able to abstain from alcohol or drugs for an hour, and it's been 7 months. So I think I'm accomplishing a lot here.
If you have to turn people away, what are they going to do? They're not going to sit there and just hold their hands. These people have an active addiction. They're going to do whatever is necessary to find the resources to support their addiction. Unfortunately, in many cases, that includes criminal behavior.
Meeting today at the Thompson Center in search of a budget solution, Governor Quinn and the legislative leaders discussed pension reform and Medicaid reform, but not tax increases.
I think we're finally taking these in the right order, and that is, what do we need to do in order to reform and clean up state government before we talk about the revenue.
Still, the governor vowed that the least fortunate would not bear the burden of draconian cuts.
Whether it's veterans or seniors or people who have need of mental health services, we are not going to take all the budget cuts out on them. It has to be shared sacrifice.
Of course, Governor Quinn hasn't signed that bare-bones budget as yet. That's why state leaders are trying to hammer out some combination of spending reductions to go along with a possible tax hike. But backers of these social programs make a good case that they actually save money. A year of drug treatment costs about $4,000. A year of prison costs $30,000. Rob, that's a compelling argument.
And you know what's frightening is there's so many organizations in the state just like this that are facing these issues.
It's a whole host of organizations, and they are going down to that July 1st wire to see whether that draconian budget is the one that stays in place.
Fair enough. Derek Blakely, thanks. The Haymarket Center was just one example. These protesters outside the Thompson Center say they're speaking out for the people in Illinois who also get hurt by the budget stalemate. They point to senior groups, after-school centers, and programs for the homeless that would no longer be able to help if the money ran out. Demonstrators expressed anger at lawmakers.
The people that are supposed to represent you, supposed to represent our communities, and they're the ones that voted against the revenue, against what we wanted to propose to make it fair for us.
This group contends that working families, the disabled, and the elderly would suffer the most if services were shut down. Meanwhile, a panel created by the governor says it can save the state more than $500 million a year. The Taxpayer Action Board delivered its report today. It's recommending cutting up to 3% across the board. The group also says the state could save big by managing Medicaid more effectively and releasing some nonviolent offenders from state prisons.